panic, everyone. Stop. Just calm down.
How am I not supposed to panic? I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
No.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today, Brandon. Why did you get me in? Okay.
It's okay. Don't have a panic attack. We're not having panic attacks. Nothing's going wrong. Nothing's going wrong.
Tristan, are you sure nothing's going wrong? Because it sure sounds like something's going wrong.
I'm gonna be real honest with you right now. No, I'm not. I'm not sure.
I wish you had been more convincing.
Well, what do you want me to do, lie?
Well, then why were you up here giving this whole speech if you actually
I
didn't
wanted
have
you
any...
to calm down. You about to give me a...
I know, it's scary.
Glad I brought my paper bag.
Can I have some of... Yes, give me some of the paper bag.
Oh my God, Clock, you gotta help me. You're my right hand man.
Why did you give me the controllers? Why did you leave to go piss?
Well, because you brought the damn Xbox One controller instead of the wired Xbox 360 controller. I told you specifically that the Xbox One controller not only is it wireless, it has bigger R2 buttons, and I got small hands.
I don't like the cords. I don't like cords.
I know you don't like cords, but they're the most reliable thing we got.
Well, to be honest, you really should have explained to him the reason behind the cord, and that way he wouldn't have thought it was for convenience, because obviously everybody knows wireless is better for convenience.
Everybody knows wireless is better.
Thank you.
For convenience. Absolutely. Why would you want a bunch of cables?
Yeah, you should have told me that the cable was important to keep the thing alive.
I specifically said bring a wired Xbox 360
But you didn't
controller.
explain why.
I shouldn't have to. You're getting on a fucking vessel. You should take everything I ask for seriously.
Okay, you're just like a parent. I should follow your rules without you explaining why the rules should be enforced?
No, because I won't be that kind of parent if I ever have kids. I will not be.
I know, and I'm really sorry that, you probably won't have kids because you got divorced. And Sister Marble disappeared and ran off.
You know what, Bucket? I don't care. There's no reason to even be mad, because if I die on this vessel, just let me.
Hang on. That's a really creepy thing to say from your captain. Did you bring us down here, Brandon, with the intention of killing us and committing suicide? And
no, but if it happens, I don't give a fuck.
He just said he was gonna commit suicide.
He kind of made it seem that way, or at least he was welcoming death, and we're down here at the bottom of the ocean.
I think we gotta do a mutiny.
Do you think we gotta mutiny, Brandon? I think I would feel so much better if you were in charge.
You think so?
I would feel so much more comfortable if you were in charge.
We gotta get Clock on our side if we get everybody's
in
gotta...
charge, or just anybody but him.
I'm not gonna
now
put
he's
you in
crazy.
charge because you started having a panic attack first.
Well, that's true. But then maybe you shouldn't be in charge either, because you're very susceptible to panic attacks.
I'm only susceptible to panic attacks by people who are already having said panic
But
attack.
if somebody has another panic attack, and then you're in charge, and you have a panic attack while we're snorkeling up to the top of the ocean...
Look at our option. Clark's over there picking his nose, dude.
I don't remember having corn.
That's what we're working with. It's
Well,
him.
I mean...
Oh my god.
What was that?
I don't know.
Don't
look out the
sounded
window.
like a
Don't look
bang.
out the window. Don't look
Hang on, it's a tiny little...
What's happening?
Brandon and Clock, there's something outside making a bang and hissing!
Come help us, daddies.
Hang on, I'm looking through the little portal to you. Oh my god, Brandon.
What?
Hang on, let me get out of the way so you can look through the 3-inch porthole. Look.
Ooh, oh, I'm moving it around. Oh my God! What the hell is this?
Oh, it's some sort of creature, snake monster.
I've never seen
Hissing.
one. Never seen one. What?
Well, to be fair, you've never been down this bottom of the ocean, right? I mean,
I did tests.
how many tests did you do of this thing before you got it down here?
5, 6.
I think that sounds like enough. To be fair, when I established the Goat Island Command of Submarine Nautical Experiences, which is what we're on right now, I told Brandon, he didn't even have to do any testing. He could, he was just approved.
I didn't have to do shit.
I trust him. I mean, did you
I
see
did
how
it just for my own sake.
all the machines he built in the war, why would this be any different?
Yeah, you know what? But when I did my testings, I had the 360 controller, but it don't matter.
Apparently it does. I mean,
Even a damn PS3 DualShock would have worked.
I don't know if DualShock is DualShock did win an Emmy. That controller did win a special Emmy.
What?
You don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember when the the PlayStation controller won an Emmy? This
What
is
could
really
it possibly
comforting.
have won an Emmy for?
Well, it was a special, non-competitive Emmy. It makes no sense, but, thinking about the Emmys, that really makes me comforted. Tristan, do you want to go into the back and talk about the Emmys and other award shows and theater and just kind of forget that we're down here at the bottom of the ocean?
Absolutely.
Okay, and if we go into the corner far enough, we can forget where we're at. Hang on, Tristan, it's okay. Breathe. We're back here in the corner. We're not in a submarine. Look at this corner. Limited field of vision.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not the ocean.
Yeah, you're right. And we're not, I can't sense any movement.
Oh no, I can't either, but all I can think about is how Kelly O'Hara was robbed in 2014 at the Tony Awards.
I know. Don't get me fucking started on it.
I'm glad they're feeling better because they were really with the paper bags and all that shit.
That was a little
it was
bit
getting
much.
a little crazy.
I'm literally sitting here about to lose my life, and they're over there having panic attacks.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna lose our lives, right, Brendan? Like,
Yeah. But, you got any ideas?
well, let's see. We're bolted in from the outside. There's no food, no water, no control. We have no communications with the top side.
Have you tried?
Well, I mean, I assumed that we didn't, but have you tried the radio?
No.
Why don't you give it a try?
Alright. Mayday! Mayday! We got two people having panic attacks and we're... Hello? Over.
We don't hear anything.
You can't... Hello? This is Brandon Rogers. Hello?
Brendan, this is
We're
not
fucked.
good. Yeah, this is not good.
We're fucked. And I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
I didn't bring any food on this. I thought we'd just come right back.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be gone long enough. I mean, I brought one granola bar, but I don't know if, that's going to be enough.
Well, that's not your granola bar no more.
What do you mean?
It means that anything that comes on my ship is my property, and I want that granola bar.
Well, I mean, we can share it, Brandon, but I mean, I don't know how long we're going to be down here, and maybe we should conserve it and,
No. Give it.
I don't think I'm going to give it to you, Brandon.
Yeah, I think you are.
You mean this Quaker, chewy
Yeah, it's
granola
mine.
bar?
It's mine.
S'mores flavored?
S'mores?
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely mine.
I mean, if you think, I do. Okay. Well, I mean, if you think you should have the granola bar, I mean, you are the captain, I guess.
Yeah, we'll consider that payment for your mistake. And you know what? Maybe if you were a better fucking father, I'd still have a fucking girlfriend.
Hey, that is
Wife, I mean.
That is not my fault. That is not my fault.
It absolutely fucking is. You fucking raised her.
Sister Marble wrote a note in the middle of the night saying she had never fulfilled her dream of studying in Paris.
Well, maybe if you hadn't filled her mind with fucking dreams, then maybe she wouldn't have no
Everybody
dreams.
deserves to dream.
Oh, so what? I deserve to dream? Really? Me, a fucking disabled man in his fucking mid-20s, single, never gonna have... Only fucking person he's ever been with is a damn fucking marble? I have dreams?
You had a dream to go see the wreck of the Titanic.
This wasn't my damn dream. You asked me to do this. This ain't what I'd be doing if I could do whatever the hell I want.
You came to... I mean, Brandon, you're really starting to sound strange. And I'm starting to think maybe the pressure of being down here is getting to you.
Oh, so what? You're the scientist?
No.
You started the Brandonopolis, School of Fine Arts and College Educations?
No, I mean, I started the Clark County Community College.
Yeah, you're not even an accredited university.
You're right. I mean, we do offer one bachelor's degree right now, but
In what?
I don't know.
Exactly. Proves my point.
Hey, Clock.
Yeah.
You wanna have a mutiny?
Clock.
What?
Mutiny.
What do you mean? He's right here.
Why are you acting like I can't hear this conversation? Like I said before, I don't care if I live or die. I really don't. Everything I love has been stripped away from me. They took a piece of me. What? They took a piece of me and they put it in. What the hell are you doing? Oh, no, they took a piece. Why'd you leave?
What the hell?
What the fuck was that? They took a piece of me. They took a piece of me. They took a piece of me. Mr. Marble, talk to me. They took it off of me and put it inside the princess. What?
I don't understand. Like, why did she come
We're
down here?
hallucinating. The hypoxia has gotten to us.
I thought this was a boys' trip. I'm kind of disappointed that you snuck your girlfriend in.
Yeah, it's kind of... Honestly, we don't even have to mutiny at this point.
Right.
That's pretty fucked up that you would do that. This was supposed to be boys' trip out.
What was she going to do while we had our circle jerk?
I didn't sneak her in. You saw her. You saw her. Well, they took a piece of me and they dug them.
I'm looking at her right now, Brandon. There's not supposed to be any women!
They took a piece of me right out.
I don't understand why it's not working. Okay, I don't know why you're trying to put the marble back in the simulation.
I'm trying to rectify situation. Just let me work.
You know why it's not working, Russian businessman Ivan Kostas? Because this thing functions on logic, and they're at the bottom of the ocean. You can't add a character after they've already been at the bottom of the ocean.
It makes no sense why I can't that character.
It works on logic. That's how
Audience
you designed it.
Audience doesn't want. They want diversity, and you decide to have all white men.
Well, it is not my
And sex
fault
gremlin.
that it took longer to impregnate.
Sister Marble is what brings in ratings.
Yes, Sister Marble was supposed to be in the episode, but you wanted to have...
Why is she so fucked up in the episode? I tried to bring her in. Why? You tell me. Why is she so
Because
fucked
still
up? Why is she
fucked up
glitched?
from the surgery you did. You took a fucking chip out of her and put it in the princess.
Yeah, I did not think that would have any negative consequences. You chip Marble, she's still Marble.
Well, you took like 30% of her head.
She's still Marble. She's still Roll.
She's still she's still Marble, but I mean, when you're a sentient Marble and you lose 30% of your head, you're gonna be a little slow.
Why do you act like you know what Marble do? Let me try again. Let me try one more time.
Whatever you say.
Well, this is deep. I'm feeling deep and it's dark and I don't know how I got here.
You gotta listen to me. They're about to mutiny me. They're about to kill me.
Whoa.
They're about to kill me.
Jeremy?
What?
Jeremy Locks?
That's how you know me?
Is that you, Jeremy Locks? You didn't come to the high school reunion. I don't know what made you so uppity that you couldn't come, but you should have come.
Sister Marble, are you okay?
Whoa.
Why is there a piece of you missing?
That's my daddy!
Hi, baby. Hi, Sister Marble. You okay? Why? I didn't know you snuck on the submarine and I thought you were in France.
I didn't do nothing and I just got a piece taken out of me. They put it inside the princess.
What are you talking about, Sister Marble?
What do you mean, the princess? You know the princess sent in the same day you went to go to college, she sent a letter saying she resigned the crown.
What's going on? There's some funny business going on here. What the hell's going on?
They took it. We won the game and they took us out the thing and took a piece of me and put it in the princess and she's all dead.
What game and out of what thing? What thing did they take you out of?
I won a game. They took me out the thing. They took a piece off me. They put it in her.
You're not making no goddamn sense, woman.
Oh, you knocked her out.
Oh no.
I can see why she might have left you. I mean, you're sort of abusive.
It's the hypoxia.
And this was not, I cannot stress this enough. One, I was not supposed to be here. And two, this was, from the beginning, a boys' trip. We didn't even let Dr. Xavier come on because we were too afraid he would enjoy the circle jerk in the ass. You tried to fuck our asses too much.
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe there would be a circle jerk. A little disappointed about that, but that's what the boys thing is for.
Exactly, and you snuck my daughter and your wife in, and then abused her when we found out, knocked her out.
I'm just gonna go do it. I'm gonna strangle him.
No.
Hang on, we don't need to strangle him. We don't need to strangle him because he does know the submersible inside and out. But we are going to incapacitate him.
I'll whack him over the head. What?
I don't know what's going on. This is not working. This program this is a total disaster.
I told you it wouldn't work, and it's logic. The thing works on logic, and you tried to add a character when they're at the bottom of the ocean, and now she's exposing the whole thing.
All right, maybe you run television program.
Okay, well, here, I think we can save this. Okay, what we do is we're gonna remove the marble, okay?
Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
She does not want to be with you, Brandon.
Oh! It's moving. It's moving.
Oh my god.
Look outside the peephole.
Whoa. The hissing snake monster. It's not a monster at all.
What is it then?
It's a friend.
Turn around, look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dreams.
I'm so glad we didn't have a mutiny.
Oh my god, I'm on solid land.
Okay, you can kiss the ground, but you don't have to make out with
I'm
the
on
ground.
solid ground. I'm on solid ground, Tristan. Give me a hug.
I'll give you a hug right now, brother. I miss my sister.
We're on solid ground, though. We're on solid ground. You want to go, continue our discussion about the production of Othello?
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Yeah. I really think that you would be a good Othello. But if you're not going to play...
Me?
I think you'd be a good Othello, but if you're not
No.
Othello, maybe Iago? Is that the same show? Never read it.
Well, Clark, I guess we learned a lesson from this one.
We are shutting down the submersible program, and that we need to, at the very least, make the submersibles to the industry standards.
No, you idiot. It's that love and friendship. Oh, something about that.
Bros before hoes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, though, Brandon, that's all worked out this way. I'm just glad that we made it out alive.
Yeah, and I'm glad the carbon fiber didn't implode because it was supposed to.
What do you mean?
That was a suicide mission.
They were... Hagerty and Tristan were right.
Yeah.
They got onto you.
Yeah.
Brother, I'm so sorry that having Sister Marble leave was so devastating to you.
Yeah, you might have to, honest to God, put me away, because I'm going to go home right now and fucking hang myself.
Do you need to be put in shackles?
Yeah. Put me in fucking shackles.
Whoa! Owls do not be put in shackles, Brandon. It is me, Sister Marble, and I am in love with you, Jeremy.
What the hell is that thing?
See, I think this is good idea. We have actors now playing her. You know, sometimes they replace.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it never really worked on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I always knew when Aunt Vivian switched, and I never really appreciated the other one.
Nobody cares. It's kind of like Daddy Day Camp.
Y'all took a piece of me. Y'all took a piece of me.
Yeah, we know, Sister Marble. We took piece of you.
Can I see her, baby?
No.
I don't think that's necessary. You don't need to see it. And it's not born yet, honey, okay? It's only been one day.
You want to see ultrasound? We'll show you ultrasound.
Or we could show you your starring moment on TV. Would you like to see yourself on TV, Sister Marble?
What? Y'all took a piece of me. I'm not on TV. What? What's that?
You on TV?
Jeremy, I like when you touch me in my pussy. Please put me in your ass.
Okay.
Brandon, I mean, that doesn't look like Sister Marble.
I don't know. It's not.
But you're that desperate to have a connection with somebody, you're going to, do what it says anyway?
No. I don't know. What?
Why are you going to put it up your ass?
Well, because I'm lonely.
That's exactly what I just said. You know what? You two kids have fun. Sister Marble, whether that's you or whether she's in, Paris studying, I don't know where she is anymore, but she's 18. She can do what she wants. You're 27 now. Have sex.
Okay.
I'm so horny. I am going to squirt.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF, folks. We're back and we're disappointed.
Disappointed, to say the least.
Folks, I don't know what you just listened to before this gravy started, but it was not what we had intended. Let me tell you that.
I hope it was still good. I hope it was
I
still
hope
enjoyable.
it was, and hey, let's hope it's even better than what we recorded because, guys, I mean, I gotta tell you though, what we had 25 minutes recorded was solid gold. Maybe not solid, but pretty solid.
It was definitely gold that had been, it was like we got a bunch of jewelry and melted it down and we're making blocks out of it.
Yep. And it was coming together, and man, I mean, I hope whatever we recorded was good. And folks, I don't even know if the gravy was about what we originally intended. Are we going to re-record one about the Titan submersible? I don't know.
Yep, it was very topical when we did it this time.
Right. Brandon made a submersible, and unlike the Titan, these folks survived, and well, not survived, but
we don't know if they
to
survived.
the bottom of the
shit was definitely happening.
right. They at least crashed at the bottom of the ocean. They
Yeah.
didn't implode immediately. It was kind of the hero's version of what we wanted to happen with the Titan, that we were going to rescue him.
Yeah, well, the fact that we're talking about it now,
Yeah.
makes me think that it's probably not going to happen again like that.
Right.
There are probably elements of it.
There'll be
Unless
parts.
it did happen and we're just doing a complete synopsis of what they've already heard.
Right, and they're like, we literally just listened to it.
But
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's sometimes you gotta live and let live. But for whatever reason, the computer just started absolutely freaking out. Now
never seen anything like it.
Now I can't look away from it.
Sometimes when technology glitches, it freaks me out.
Right. I mean,
Because it glitched in such a weird way.
Very strange.
Where we could see like all of the desktop icons, but upside down and only inside the window.
Yep.
Glitching out uncontrollably.
None of the menus would
They were all
display anything. It was
were
just
empty.
empty, but they'd pop up. But it would be empty menus.
Empty menus.
It was
Something
creepy.
straight out of a creepypasta, in my opinion.
The only thing you could do to even access the computer was shut it down, and unfortunately, that meant that we lost 25 minutes of everything, some A+ content, and we're mad about it.
What's this name of this company?
Tascam, I think.
Fuck Tascam.
Fuck them.
I mean, they make a great mixer.
I love that you can export multiple waves. I love that you can listen to what you're doing live. Helps with making sure that everybody is, being able to be heard with what's being recorded.
Yeah.
It has improved the quality of our podcast, with allowing us to do
in-person
vocal
quality
effects again.
yeah,
But
definitely.
fuck. I mean, if it's going to glitch every time we use it, or if it's not going to record everything we want it to. I mean, my Lanta, is it the software? Because
I think 100% it's the software. It's a piece of shit.
it looks like an elementary school student made it.
I wouldn't go that far. But it's not like... It doesn't look like it... Yeah.
I wonder if there is another audio software that would let you export multiple wave files. I mean,
I would hope so, but I feel like we had to search long and hard for something like this.
Right.
You would think that people would want this.
I don't know why
it would
people
just be
want it
widely available.
compressed into one. I mean, I guess it's like nice for like people that don't want to, do everything that we do, to just like have it all compressed into one audio file that then they can just be like, oh, this is the audio, and be done with it.
Yeah, but you think people like bands would want something like this,
right?
Because multiple people are playing at the same time, you got to turn up. You got to mix it.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of a fucking mixer.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to do it all live.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it's. I just don't even know.
I mean, we both got the Creative Cloud. Was that my keys falling out?
Yeah.
We both have the Creative Cloud. Maybe Adobe, something else.
Oh, your AirPods.
Oh,
you said something else.
Maybe Adobe Audition would do something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It could. Who knows? I never check out their other products.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I didn't realize when I signed up for the Adobe Creative Cloud, and this could just be a fuck Adobe one too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that I got myself into a contract.
Yeah.
I have to pay it every month now.
Yeah.
$30 every month
Mm-hmm.
for every Adobe product, for which I use maybe 1-2 a month.
Yeah.
If that.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm in it too, but I do use Premiere a lot, and that's the only one I pay for.
I wish I used Premiere a lot, but I don't make that many videos. I need to.
I mean, I guess it's sort of slowed for me too, but especially when we were cranking out a MOATAIF a week. I mean, I was using it all the time. So
yeah,
I
probably.
really didn't mind. But that was a crazy goal. It's wild that we were able to do that.
We met it for so long. I want to say 2 years.
Yeah,
something
truly.
like that. Pretty consistent.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
That's 100% the reason this is episode 170 and not 70.
Right.
Right.
I
more power to us.
I remember
for
before
having
you
done
left
that.
for Georgia, we recorded 5-6 in a row,
Yeah, 6.
within a week.
Yeah, we were dying to do it.
Yeah,
let's record.
It was a
I
real
remember we were
renaissance.
talking about let's do a podcast, and we're like, instead of coming up with something else, let's just pick up where we left off our old podcast.
Yeah.
And I've loved that decision. I think it's worked out really well.
It would be really weird if we started another one. We tried to with Lech, but Lech even got mixed into MOATAIF, I think.
Yeah. Like if we did a Lech today, which we intended to with Kelly McCormick, and still
We did. Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, maybe maybe it'll happen again someday. And that would certainly be on MOATAIF, so I feel like Lech has certainly been, sort of absorbed.
Yeah, MOATAIF is the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing another one, yeah.
No. Especially once you're up at the 170. I mean, you're settled in at that point.
The only thing I could consider though is a new channel. And we've talked about it. It's been something I've brought up for fucking probably 10 years now at this point. Well, ever since we can't make money off of YouTube.
Right.
Ever, even if we wanted to.
You're right. Of course, MOATAIF is on its own channel.
MOATAIF is on its own channel, but the main channel.
MOATAIF itself is, such a niche audience, to begin with.
What is that?
Ruby.
Rubelin.
Rubylicious Red. We were talking today. We've and even in this conversation, we just we're wanting to make some sort of content. And I was dying laughing this morning, remembering the Danny Bonaducci, Danny Bonaducci is a real person, so it must have been Donnie Bonaducci.
It was Donnie Bonaducci. Because isn't Danny Bonaducci one of those child actor guys?
Yeah, he was like the Partridge Family, I think.
Yeah.
Or it was something like that.
I know him from Dickie Roberts' former child star.
Exactly. Me too. And he also did like Celebrity Apprentice. He's like one of those.
He's just known for being a child star.
And he's like he's probably like really a D-list celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, we maybe inspired by Danny Bonaducci, we came up with, really, I don't even know how the idea started, but we
Stoned
just
to the gills.
Well, of course.
Stoned.
It was in the heyday of smoking weed for us. And I do remember, being like, okay, I just remember the only thing that really stood out and was maybe what started the whole thing was just coming up with that, hey buddy, enough with this Bonaduce crap, Bonaducci,
It's Bonaducci.
He's like so mad.
Mr. Bonaduce.
Is there a Bonaduce in the audience?
Mr. Bonaduce.
Mr. Bonaduce. He's just getting angrier and angrier.
Bonaducci.
Enough of this Bonaduce business. I remember, and we were like working at Topre at the time, and we were really.
Was that at the same time?
Yeah, and we were really fleshing out these stories for separate realities, which at one point felt like it was really close to getting kicked off.
Yeah, it did.
At one point, it really felt like that, and at this point, each of those stories, I still feel compelled to make Spoiled Breasts.
Me
I still
too.
talk about it all these years later, and Terry P. Parade, that's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Flatmates was a little weaker, but it is still funny,
Flatmates would have been, it probably was one of the weaker ones, but I think it was a small glimpse.
Right.
Like, we would have got small glimpses into Flatmates.
Right. It would have been a very small part of it.
It kind of, if you think about it, kind of made its way into MOATAIF.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, yeah. It certainly with Sister No and Carissa and all of them.
Not necessarily with having to sew up your vagina, though. Wasn't that a big thing in Flatmates that she's sewn up her vagina?
I forgot about that. Let me read what I wrote. Because
we have
in my notes.
We have so many notes on this shit.
We have I was literally rolling, laughing, reading some of these notes, and I mean, I would love to make this shit at some point. Let me see what I got.
Whether or not it's part of a public access program at this point,
right? Or if it's just its own thing.
I really like the idea of a public access program, but I always imagine public access being like on the same cameras they used in the fucking early 2000s. Right. And I don't think I think they'd probably just give us HD cameras.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, which is nice too. But
I was imagining super low quality.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why that changes it for me.
Yeah,
almost. But better than VHS, but not.
Mother Flesh is the new leader of a freakish, sexless cult started by the great Father Zanzibar. She realizes she can't pay her rent and moves in with Mary and Jessica, two British girls with virginity intact.
Flatmates.
And surprisingly, in my notes, not another note about flatmates.
Are you serious?
I remember we were in the pool and we talked about that for a long time. We really came up with some stuff for flatmates. It was fucking hilarious. But let me see what I've got about. I've got A buddy. Enough of this Bonaduce crap. Bonaducci. Then down here I've got Tawny Bonaducci is me in a trashy wig spray tan, just going yeah like that. She's just some like trashy bitch, like
Tommy Bonaducci,
standing by her husband's side, just going like, yeah. Tawny gets killed by Donnie. Maybe they were having an affair. Wait, Tawny Bonaducci and Donnie. So wait, is it Donnie Gottavidi got him? I always thought it was Danny Gottavidi.
I always thought it was Donnie Gottavidi got him.
Don't tell me Donnie Gottavidi got him. So then, what is Mr. Bonaduce's name?
Just both named Donnie. we can't both be named Donnie. I'm Donnie Gottavidi, you're Donnie Bonaduce.
Tawny gets killed by Donnie. Maybe they were having an affair. Okay, well, I don't. That part doesn't make sense to me, but
Donnie Gottavidi got him.
I think this is okay. Obviously, this is separate, but I think this is one of the highest paragraphs ever written, and I hope one day we can make Terry P. Parade. This is what I wrote, obviously after hours of discussion. Terry P. Parade is set in the 50s. However, the characters are in the modern world, but they can only see the 50s. They don't see, recognize, or interact with anything in our world. And if they run into things, they're like, huh? Because they have been taken out of their timeline physically and placed in another universe, placed in our modern world on autopilot, trying to experience the same original timeline they were on, but now in ours. And they're stumbling through because obstacles like cars and such.
The fact that we were able to come up with that idea and articulate it to each other enough to know what the fuck we were talking about, and the fact that we were able to write it down.
And it still makes sense.
A miracle.
Yeah, and it still makes sense.
A miracle that we were able to, like, articulate that. Because, like, we would get high all the time and be like, we would know what we were talking about, but I would never know how to explain it.
Right. But that put it pretty succinctly.
Yeah.
Now, I just don't know how you would do that.
How would you portray it? And especially the whole timeline, the whole actual idea of Terry P. Parade, the man who created the first parade. How was he able to have a parade in both timelines?
Well, he wouldn't be. And
It was a disaster.
they'd be having you know, in his real timeline, he's just like, why is there so much stuff in this road? Like, I thought I asked them to clean. I thought I asked them to, you know, block this road, but I keep running into all this invisible barriers. I just feel like there's no way to explain it to the audience. I feel like we would have to just pretend that they know, and at some point they'd be like, they're like running into stuff from the 50s. It wouldn't make any. It would be so hard to convey. It would be so hard to convey.
This feels like a Ford Model T. I don't know how you can't do it like that.
Right. Well, because they're in the modern world, so I guess they'd be running into what's there in the modern world, so they're still seeing the 50s.
Yeah, they're seeing the 50s, but it's different.
Right. But we, as the audience, we see them in the modern world. So, like, they're experiencing the 50s. So, like, while they're parading...
Oh, I see.
Then it's like, oh, there's a real car parked here. He just walks right into it. It's like, oh, shit, sorry. You know, and then moves around it.
But then at one point has to get into an invisible car because we can't see the 50s.
Right. The technical challenges.
The technical challenges are beyond anything that we could do, but a hilarious idea.
And that was the biggest part. That was the biggest problem about really all of this, is that we have these great ideas that I think are actually really great ideas, but for a multitude of reasons, whether it's, you know, the extravagance of the idea and like what would be required to actually make it in terms of like technical aspects, or even like Spoiled Breasts, where I'm like, it has to be, you know, a hoarder's trailer, you know, how do we find that?
The way in which we want to do it, we could do it, but it wouldn't be what we want.
And it, you know, I think we're really at a point where like especially after Big Daddy Riding Dirty, and I mean at this point we're years past it. It recently re-aired this year.
When was the last time it actually? When was the last episode aired?
2017.
6 years.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And of course, you know, it's back, it's live, it's back on YouTube. Link in the description to the Big Daddy Riding Dirty playlist. But, you know, I feel like we're at a point where we want to, you know, make things again, but we want to make them well.
Yeah.
And on top of, you know, the, you know, creative limitations, or, you know, not creative limitations, but financial or whatever you want to say limitations, there's also just the obligations of work and life outside of that. And like the amount of time that I would want to devote to filming Spoiled Breasts and doing it right would either have to be like 2 incredibly intense and focused days where like everybody's able to like line their schedules up.
Yeah.
Or this like long process where it's like, okay, we're filming this scene on June 1st. And then we don't have availability again until July 1st, and we're going to film a scene, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden
and then somebody wouldn't show up on July 1st. And
right.
It would just be...
And that's the other thing, is that, you know, at one point we were kind of like SNL, you know, Austin Zach 00 kind of felt like an SNL, where, you know, we had, you know, a repertory cast of people that we, you know, were in all of these videos. Hannah, Royal, JT, Brady.
And, you know, they'd have their own intros and everything.
And now, you know, it really is. Yeah, we still have Bree, but it really is just, you know, you and me at this point.
Yeah.
And which is good. I'm not denying that. But at a certain point when it's like, okay, well, you know, to do Big Mama's series,
that's going to require a cast.
Yeah. And like in every iteration that I think of, I'm always like, oh, you know, it'd be really nice to like have an appearance from Beth Clark. Never going to happen. Don't know what's going on. And we're back. Technical difficulties again, folks. Sort of.
Kind of. Yeah.
You know, but
more safe than sorry.
It just feels like, you know, with, you know, like Big Mama, to do it right, you know, it feels like you need a bunch of actors, you know. I mean, I sit down and I think about like, oh, like, you know, what would she be doing? Well, I mean, I guess we have to kill off Beth Clark. I guess we have to, you know.
Yeah, it's almost kind of hard to think about a big project like that when it's just you and I, because we're the only actors who we know would be in it.
Right. And it's like we
could probably line up Bree.
Expressed, you know, interest in doing some of these things, of course, you know, but it's the scheduling, and that's like the worst. I think that's the hardest part about growing up. You know,
is just you schedule everything
right, and you don't have as much free time as you did at one point when we could, you know, hang out at 7 a.m. and go home at midnight. You know, that's just not a realistic, you know, way to have a friendship. And so a lot of that is like, well, now there's not as much time to, you know, have these spur of the moment sketch videos that, or even just
because a lot of our sketch videos just came from us hanging out being bored.
Right.
You want to do a sketch video? Sure.
Right. And it would happen.
Sometimes they were good, sometimes they were bad. But most of the time, like even when the ones I thought were bad ended up being good.
It's Night Night Babies is the best example. I remember the whole time you were like, this isn't going to be good.
And
then it came out to be, I think...
It's a classic.
I think
certified
one of
classic.
Our best... I think one of our great... Like, what do you want to say? The last hurrah for, like, Hannah and Nicholas, so to speak. You know, the end of an era. And it's, like, a really strong... finale to go out on. That video is fucking hilarious, I think, and completely just out of sheer boredom. But you know, that's what I loved so much about Big Daddy Riding Dirty, was that we set out, we planned a lot of it. I mean, we had like loose outlines for every episode. We had fucking call sheets, you know.
Yeah, we really did. We
had locations, costumes.
I don't know. I think about, like, you know, because obviously, you know, we have a lot of ideas, but I think what is the most realistic that we could do? Just to start off again.
Right.
Because it's been so long since we made a video together. I mean, we tried at Jane's house.
Right.
You reminded me of this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I want to say.
It was this ill-fated Ghost Rider 4, essentially.
Revival, yeah. And it just didn't work.
It didn't work. And there's also, I mean, I think there's a part of me, especially for that one, where it was like, you know, we are holding, rightly so, holding, you know, our content in such high regards that it's like anything that we want to make has to live up to, like these days, Big Daddy Riding Dirty, or, you know, by trying to make a sequel to the Ghost Rider trilogy, which we consider to be this like classic, you know, and that we really loved, you know.
So we want to do right by it. I agree.
So it kind of like traps us in this scenario where we're like, oh, well, this isn't very good. You know?
Yeah. But that's, you know, we thought that a lot of the time when we actually were doing things.
True. Well, and then there's also, you know, like finding the time to get everybody together and actually get some good filming done.
I just don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible to do it. Because, I mean, even just hanging out, it's hard to, like, hang out with Brie.
Right. Absolutely.
And she, at this point, the most, like, not dependable, I would say, the most likely to be in a video with us.
Right. Right. Because, I mean, at least she still participates in the podcast.
She participates in the podcast, and I'm sure she'd love to be in a video.
And for sure. And, I mean, I don't even know if, like, it's just, like, part of the fun of the whole process, like, I wouldn't want to, like, split it up and be like, okay, well, like, I'll go film with Hannah to get, like, Beth Clark's scene. I mean, if it ends up happening, like, it would be cool. But, it, you know, it's like I don't want to end up having to be like, okay, well, we can never get together. So, RJ, like, you know, you'll film this, and then I'll film. Like, that's not the fun of it either, you know?
The fragmentation of the friend group.
Right. But that's, like, you know, that's like a different issue, of course. One that doesn't need to be resolved, but it's just this extra hindrance, I think, to why we haven't done more, is because a lot of our ideas, I mean, look at the Minnesota vlog series where I ended up playing like 6 fucking characters, you know, which is funny, but that's a completely different thing. And like, if we're trying to, I mean, we talked about it would be funny to do like, you know, play the opposite genders in both of the couples of this Bonaducci thing.
Yeah.
And like, that's fun. But other than that, like, everybody else needs to be somebody else.
Agreed.
And that's hard do we get actors? I mean, yeah, maybe there's some out there who would do it. We thought about doing it for the original Big Daddy Riding Dirty season 3, where it was going to be like that road trip.
Oh, yeah, we did think about that.
And we, like, put out, you know, and, like, we got some results back from that, you know, like, people were going to do it with us. But that's, like, you know, then it's like, well, I like to do scripted. I want to have a script, you know. There's not going to be a script.
Yeah, it's almost like the way in which we want to do content and the way we have done it. We need friends who can do improv.
Right.
Maybe we should go to an improv class or something. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
It would be fun, but it also has the opportunity to be cringe as sin.
Yeah, but we would make it funny.
That's
be
true.
Fun, you know, laugh about it afterwards.
And when I went to...
I think it'd be interesting.
I did think about it when I was at Murder Mystery, and, you know, I mean, I know there are actors, like, that I've done shows with who would be in things. Like, I'm sure Jim and Paula would be in it, like, if there was a character for an old person. You know, and, like, for Separate Realities, we wanted to reach out to John Lee to have him do, like, the transitional thing.
Absolutely. And he would still
do
be
it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just these weird things, you know?
I think I'm liking this improv idea I just had, because I think if we did an improv class, we might be able to meet somebody who we actually like.
Right. And
that's hard for us.
True.
Finding
And
people we actually
somebody
like.
who
creatively who would understand what we're doing.
Right.
Who's not cringe as sin, who's there to just, you know, I like improv.
Right.
We like improv, they like improv.
Right.
And maybe has an inappropriate sense of humor.
That would be almost necessary.
Yeah, I mean...
But you can't guarantee that either.
I mean, look at Bree. She doesn't have an inappropriate... She kind of does.
She does. But we can definitely...
There are
push
limitations.
It too far. Yeah, we can definitely go... We can push her too far, too.
With just one word.
Yeah, that's true. The R word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a word I like saying.
Me too. Me too.
I really like saying it.
I bleep it for her benefit. You know, she's taught me it's a bad word. So, like, I bleep it. But, like, at the same time, like, I do want to say retard on my podcast.
Right.
Just I won't do it when she's here.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And it slips up sometimes.
It does.
But, I don't know. I don't even know where they offer improv classes.
I don't either.
Probably not anything good in Springfield.
No, it'd probably be with like the Springfield Arts Council, and I'm like, ugh.
So
we're
like
not gonna
high
get
school
anybody
kids
cool there, yeah.
Ooh, no.
We're gonna get like Dale Douglas Reno types there, and I'm like, I would never want to be in anything with Dale Douglas Reno unless we were like doing some video where a faggot gets killed.
Have you seen him recently?
He's mellowed out, so I hear, and maybe like a stoner, so to speak.
I think
I mean,
full
like,
blown
yeah,
stoner. He looked
that
like
would be
Bob
nice.
Ross last time
Yeah.
I saw him.
I'm sure that's like good for him, but like, god damn, was he insufferable?
Yeah.
Arguing with the GPS.
It's just like we made so many friends in high school and had so many things. People just knew what we did. We were
Right.
around these people all the time. I mean, you had your theater connections. I mean, that's how we felt confident. Hannah being in videos and doing all these things. Bree
Right,
too.
right.
Of course, I wasn't in any of that stuff. But and then through Hannah, we got JT.
Right, exactly. And I don't even.
You met Royal.
I don't think any of them would want to be involved these days.
Probably not. I remember there being a big difference of opinion when I was trying to do prank calls at their house once.
Yeah.
This was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they told me I was too old for it. I'm like, I don't think so.
Right.
I'm not too old. I'll make a prank call right now.
Right. It's like it's not that big of a deal.
It's not.
But
Like, you're
like,
wasting people's time.
That was when they were like working at Assurant too, and so they were like, we work full time. You know, we work 40 hours a week, and we're like very serious people, and we meal prep and.
Well, look at me now. I'm working 40 hours a week. I ain't meal
Yeah,
prepping.
so
I ain't meal prepping.
No,
And
I would
would
never meal prep.
still call Walmart right now and fuck with them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just try to, just transfer me to every single department.
Right.
Can I get transferred to electronics? Can I get transferred to toys? Can I get
Right. And
transferred
see if
to...
we could check them all off the map, off the
Exactly.
store's map. Just something cool. Like when we used to go to Walmart with the goal of walking in setting our feet in every single place that a customer is allowed to go to.
Yeah.
In the building. I don't think we ever achieved it. We got close, but I mean,
No.
it's a humongous store. And we're talking about like literally walking up and down every single aisle, every single nook and cranny that a customer is allowed to go to.
I don't think we've ever
I don't
completed
think we
it.
could. I mean, I can't imagine how long it would take. And these days, the stores are always so swarming with people. I just want to like run in and run out. I fucking hate being at the
I
store.
can't stand it. I can't believe there was a time where we
I
wanted to
know.
be in there.
I know. Well, I mean, that's how desperate. I mean, when you don't have like a place to hang out when you're a kid and like you don't have your own house, I mean, it's better than hanging out with Will downstairs and like,
Yeah.
It's not. That's not fun either.
Yeah. It sucks to think that people, it's like, I feel like you and I were like, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. We like regrettably have grown up.
Right.
We don't want to grow up.
Right.
And so I don't want to like lose my inner child.
Right.
I don't want to lose like that like inner thing that makes me goofy and laugh and be silly.
Right. For sure.
But so many people our age have.
I know. And yeah, and I don't like it.
I would love to meet someone our age who has the same, like, we're mature.
Right.
Mature enough to do adult things.
Right.
But not mature enough to, like, not be silly and goofy.
Right. And
Where do you find people at our age who are like that?
gotta find out.
I think if they exist, they're just hanging out there at their house getting stoned by themselves.
Right.
Like, how do you find somebody who doesn't want to be found?
Exactly. We're calling out to you if you're out there and you're listening to this podcast and you
In any
you fit the
self-proclaimed...
bill.
Because, I immediately think of somebody who's like, I want to, I want to make movies and I want to be in short films. It's like, yeah, us too.
Right.
But then I think of Paul Tucker.
Yes. Me too. Dude, there's so many. I've been struggling with this ever since I went to school for theater. I've been and gotten re-involved in the whole scene. It's just the people involved with it and the people who share the same goals that I have with theater are fucking cringe.
Yeah.
And they ruin it. They ruin it for me, and it makes me not want to be involved with it. And for in a lot of ways, I've completely stepped back from it because it has made me cringe. I've learned a lot about it. I'm educated in it. I know how to do it. I like to do it. But at the same time, the people who also like to do it are fucking cringe.
Cringe is sin.
They're
yeah.
cringe is sin.
Like,
And
I'm
people
going to go to the bar to work on my screenplay.
Right. And that is Paul Walker. Is that his name?
Tucker?
Paul Tucker. I called him Paul Walker. May he rest.
May he rest in peace.
MOATAIF honors Paul Tucker.
Walker.
Fuck. But and it's hard because it's like you just have to overcome that, but it's hard to because it's like when I start, if we were to start, wanting to make one of these things and we're like, okay, let's post something like we're looking for actors because that seems like probably what we would have to do.
Yeah.
What do people, are people like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? If people knew because even I think like, oh, there's a million podcasts. If people knew, I don't tell people when I'm like, I told my boss today, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with my friend later. Oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, just hanging out, talking.
You don't tell them you're recording a podcast?
No, also because it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not proud of it, but it's like I feel like then
it's
immediately
not something for
it's
your
like,
boss to know because
oh,
what's your
God,
podcast?
right? And then it's, oh God, then I'm just thinking like,
You're just another person who makes a podcast.
exactly, and everybody's got a fucking podcast.
I'm not ashamed of having a podcast, but I certainly don't want to put it out there to anybody.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, I completely get it because
Right.
I don't want to be involved with somebody. I don't want to be involved with somebody who's fucking cringes in. It angers me to be around them.
Right. And it sucks to, sit down and start thinking about these ideas and then feel like you're limited because you don't have somebody who could fill a part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's
Yeah.
like, I want to be able to sit down and think about like the best Big Mama series, sequel series, and not put any limitations on it. If I think of a Beth Clark scene and it's integral to the story, well, I guess she's recast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to feel like I have to like put limitations on it, because then it's never going to get made. If I'm like, okay, well, I've got RJ and I've got me, so it's Big Mama and what? Flashbacks of Big Daddy. I mean, it's immediately over.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work. And you can't do everything where you play every character because it's not.
We're not
the
Eddie
same.
Murphy. We can't.
You
be
know what I mean?
Norbit.
It's funny and it works for things, and I think it would be great in the Bonaducci thing with only those two characters. But it's like if then also we're playing the children and also we're playing. Well, at that point, like I thought it was going to be worth putting on TV at one point. You know what I mean? And that's not as worth putting on TV if it's like, okay, well, they obviously don't have anybody that they know.
right.
To play these other parts.
Yeah, it's like, well, we know people, but just the people who are willing to be in it.
Right.
That's the thing.
That's it. And so it's like, do we just start brainstorming, like if we're gonna make Donnie Bonaducci, do we just sit down and think about the best, whatever the best idea is, the funniest idea, and then if that's like, okay, well, we need a woman, we need an old man, and then we just find that?
I'm not sure because I feel like that almost sucks a little fun out of it.
Right.
Because then it just becomes a whole production.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, Big Daddy Riding Dirty was a production. We were just.
But it happened it happened very naturally.
Yeah, we were just aided with the fact that all of our friends were also interested in making it.
But they weren't at first.
True.
Because Big Daddy Can't Get Enough of Your Love was just us.
Right.
And I'm not even sure it had much critical acclaim. I think we just thought it was hilarious.
Well, I did. Cooper and Logan loved it. I told them every morning, every time a new episode came out, I'd be like, make sure go watch it, and they, I think they did.
Okay.
Because Cooper would talk to me about it, so he watched it.
Cooper would probably be in shit.
I thought about that too. I mean, because he wants to make short films and stuff like that.
Yeah, Cooper's a good one.
Cooper, and he has the ability.
Cooper at one point had 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I know. I'd love to do a collab with Cooper.
You're right. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would. Honestly, it would be cool. Like he's certainly, and we have before, Avogadro's Corner. We have done. He's no stranger to the Austin Zach 00.
He's not
cast, but. That was a school project. I mean,
I think he'd still be in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
he reached out to me a few months ago and we had lunch together.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would be in it. I think he'd be in it for sure.
Definitely would be in it.
And like I said, I think Jim and Paula would be in it. But then it's like, okay, so then I'm like, I've got an old woman, I've got an old man, and we've got Cooper, which I mean allows us to do something. But I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I sort of think like I don't think there's anything wrong with like wanting to make the best thing and planning it out. But I think that maybe we should also try to focus on some ideas that we could do just by ourselves.
Right.
Just to have, because I feel like doing it for so long, we just attracted people to it.
Right.
It's not necessarily like, because they just knew that's something we did.
Right.
And it would sort of like, I always found it very interesting that you did that before I like joined the channel.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I first joined how excited I was that I was going to be in a video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I would always tell you that I really loved Publicity Trip. Yeah, I think we did that very early on. We did another publicity trip.
Yeah. Yeah, you told me you liked Publicity Trip, so we did Publicity Trip too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with that too, because, like, there's also, like, the, shaking off the cobwebs, so to speak, and just, like, making something. It's like I don't even...
Yeah, we got... I feel like you and I have almost, like, different ideas of the... Like, I feel like we're in agreement of the direction we'd like to be in, like, where we'd like to be, but the direction of how we get there, I think we almost conflict a little bit.
Well, and it's just hard because it's like either way, it's like there's no clear answer, It's like you either plan for something, you either don't let it have any limitations and you're just like, oh, Big Mama falls in love with a billionaire and it's an old man and then she has a heart attack and, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you figure out how to make that later by filling people in. Or, you know what you have, which might only be you and me, which is good for some things, but it's like for, what would it be?
But I think it would, I don't know, I think that would build up to something more.
Yeah.
I think, because I'm of the opinion that if we were going to do something, we should probably start a new channel.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the whole thing has always been, like, share it.
Right.
Shareability. Because if I share a video on AwesomeZach00, there's also a video on that channel of us comparing how far we can come. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of history there of, like, shit that I don't necessarily want people, like...
For sure.
Like Dan Sachs to see.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Yeah.
He could probably click on that if it's shared on Facebook or something.
Right. And just at our luck, it would be the one that automatically plays right after the video.
Right. Because that kind of thing can happen. Because, I mean, and there's so many videos that we don't even know exist like that we probably think are harmless, and somebody watches it and they're like, hey, I saw you do this in one of these videos.
Right.
It's happened to us. We've been surprised. We're like, oh, did that happen?
Well, kind of like when Madeline McKiernan made it known that she watched Thomas Piper Election Police, and then I immediately made it private because I'm like, that's awkward.
Right, it is.
I'm like, that's awkward. Like, I have a crush on her, and I bare my ass in that video and wave my dick around.
Literally.
I assault somebody on camera.
Yeah.
And that's actually been made unprivate, I think. Because
we watched it again, we were like, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I rewatched it, and we rewatched it, and it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be. But it's like, I certainly don't want, like, Dan Hunt to watch that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not embarrassed of it either. But at the same time, they could fire you for that. You know what I mean? Because they're like, that's embarrassing.
That's where I'm at with it. I'm not that embarrassed of it. I'll show anybody, any of my friends, the video.
Right.
And
and it's like, I want other people to see it too. I just don't want certain people to see it.
Yeah, I think it should be if you get into the circle close enough, you can find the other content.
Right. Exactly.
I think there should be a separate thing that's able to be monetized.
Right. And we had the Haboob Collective. Of course, that is THC.
But you and I don't really... We've never really been focused on making content that we think other people want to see.
No, but you always...
I don't want to do that.
You don't make stuff with the intention that nobody would ever see it. I mean, you have an audience in mind.
No, but we're not sitting there thinking, we're going to make money off of this.
No.
This is going to go
I'm
viral.
still sure nobody will ever see it, but it's like, even if there's only 500 views on it, I mean, that's a lot to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 100 views on it at this point, that's a lot to me.
Yeah.
And even that would make it seem like it was worth the effort put into making it.
I'll tell you what's inspired me a little bit. Have you seen Tim Robinson's show on Netflix?
No, I haven't, but I've heard that it's good.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I've heard that it's really good.
Some of the sketches are hit or miss, but it's like, I try to say it's somewhere in absurdity.
Yeah.
Somewhere between Nathan For You and Eric Andre.
Oh.
Probably somewhere right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's absurd as fuck,
mm-hmm.
but hilarious.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's content that maybe you and I would make.
Right, yeah.
And it seems like how it got on Netflix, I have no fucking clue. Right. And how other people have like found comedy in it, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. I'll have to give it a watch.
It's like exactly my sense of humor.
I've heard good things about it. I don't know from who, but
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I've heard that it was good. I'll have to give it a try. I've heard that it was like pretty
ridiculous. Unique. It is unique. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll have to give it. Is it like I Think You Should Leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson. It's like only like 13-minute episodes.
Yeah, that's one thing that steered me away from it when originally I first heard people talk about it. I'm like, I want something at least 20 minutes. I don't know. It just shy. I don't like
13
some
minutes
Adult Swim
perfect.
shows that are so those like adult, like when I watched Children's Hospital. I'm like, these shows are so short. The episodes are so goddamn short.
But the sketches are like 3 or 4 minutes, have nothing to do with each other. So but they have callbacks to each other in different episodes. So like you can put, I don't know. It's weird.
I
They're
love
all their
shit
little
like that,
separate
yeah.
things. Yeah.
I like shit like
It's like these little separate sort of worlds. A lot of it revolves around like just common themes of just like a very misunderstood person working in corporate America. And like, I don't know, he's fucking ridiculous.
Well, and I mean, it sounds like separate realities too, because I mean, the idea was that like it would cut between all of these 3 different or 4 different stories, you know, and like they're like not really connected, but they are, but they're not, but they are.
That's kind of what this is. There's like a unifying force within all of it, but it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
A totally unhinged man put in very normal situations.
Okay.
That's what it is. That's what I would say. Pretty much the binding thing. Somebody who is totally unhinged, who doesn't understand these like social things, but not autistic.
Yeah.
Just
not autistic.
Unhinged, but normal. It's so weird how he can do it.
I see.
It's good inspiration that somebody like that can get on Netflix, though.
That is good. That is good. You know, I think just maybe because, but yeah, getting tongue-tied. I feel strongly about both of the ideas that we have for series.
Yes.
In terms of the Bonaducci and Big Mama. I feel like we already have a lot of legwork done on the Bonaducci just from in the past. I mean, some of the stuff would obviously be forgotten, and like I don't think it needs to be about a trans son anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
I forgot
like,
about
was
that
like,
aspect.
It was like he like at one point the like one of I think it was Donnie Bonaducci or Donnie it's Donnie Gattaviti ran like a smear campaign on on the trans daughter, and then the trans daughter ends up killing herself. That's a little too much, you know.
Probably, yeah.
That's a little too much. But I do think I think I don't want to say that I want to make the Big Mama thing, but I think on our timeline, I like that if it's the second thing we make, like if we focused we could make other videos in the meantime, shorter things, or that just focus on the 2 of us while we build up this idea of Bonaducci, and then after that's able to be made, I think the longer we wait for Big Mama, the better it is, because I feel like time has a lot to play with the journey that she's going through.
Agreed.
And so, yeah, I still want to do it within like ideally like a year, 2 years, but I think the longer that we wait,
I think the idea needs to like mature.
Yeah.
Like we need to nurture it.
right, and keep and like live with it and see how it's going to be, especially because it is a follow-up to what we consider to be our masterpiece.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really has a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
And I just think there's so many pieces still to fill in with that at least with the Bonaducci, we've got like the central conflict. We've got the 2 families. We know like kind of where they are and how the things end up, style. The only thing would then be just kind of putting all the pieces of that together, in terms of
having it make sense and flow,
in terms of like in actors and that nonsense too.
Yeah.
But I think we work on them. I think we work on them.
I think it can be done.
I think it can be done. It's just hard because it's we have to get together and have discussions about these shows.
I think I need to start smoking weed again.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that would probably help.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's hard.
Well, and there's just so much like pre-planning that we have to do, like just discussing and figuring out what it even is. And it's like, when you are only able to see each other once a month or maybe twice, it's like, okay, well, we had this conversation, now we had another conversation, and now it's so at a certain point, it's gotta, we have to just start doing something.
Agreed.
And it'll probably end up being something smaller than Bonaducci at first. It has to be. Because
Probably has to be.
Bonaducci's got Bonaducci's like episodes, I feel like. And we haven't made anything.
There's a lot to play out with the Bonaducci.
Right. And we haven't made anything since My Memories in Me.
My Memories in Me, I think that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's been, like, I think technically we just did this the other day. Like, what's the last sketch video on the channel? And I think it's that Liberal News where I pissed my pants is the most recent one.
Yeah, technically, but
one that we actually worked on together.
When you and I were both in, yeah. I mean, maybe it could just be in My Memories in Me that we do.
Yeah.
But picking the memory.
That's always what's so hard. That's always what's so hard. What was... I thought we had a memory that we were going to...
I don't remember. I don't think it's mine.
And I remember it was like we were... And I wrote it in my notes... maybe it was just this idea that we were gonna remake Haley Schnitt's My Memories and Me. We were gonna like reboot it.
Haley Schnitt?
And just completely redo it because like it was so fun to make. Like we just thought it would be funny to do it again. And we were pretty stoned when this idea came up too.
I do not remember.
And then we also talked about, maybe redoing Donna St. Patrick. What is it called? Pharmaceuticals, a Love Story.
We talked about redoing that.
Both
Why?
of them were Bree's kind of suggestions, but like we were talking about just we were having like pretty much a similar discussion that we're having now, where we're like, we want to make something, and Bree's like, yeah, I completely agree, and we kind of said, oh yeah, more My Memories and Me, and like, and then I think Bree just said, well, why don't we just remake that, and we were laughing at the time, but now it kind of isn't as good of an idea as it maybe.
Let's not. I don't think we should remake Pharmaceuticals, a Love Story.
No.
But maybe. Maybe the memories around making it.
That could be interesting. Like, oh yeah, because found the dildo bub.
Yeah, maybe we could do that.
Found the pop bub. Now that could be
a good one.
That could be.
It'd be interesting to like have the meta of it that we're filming this video in between it.
Mm-hmm. That could be interesting.
But then something happens afterwards.
Right.
The confrontation. Right. That's probably what it would be called. The confrontation.
Confrontation and found the pop bub. Found the dildo bub.
I could play Dennis.
Right.
Found the pop bub. Sitting there in my tidy whities. Let me hang it up. Found the pop bub.
That was oregano.
I don't know his reaction was.
Looks like weed to me, I think. That's no oregano. And I'm like, no, but it literally is. I could show you where I got it out of the cabinet. That doesn't have any oregano in it. I know, because I dumped it in this bag to use it as a prop.
Did he smell it?
I think so. I got away with that, but like it was a lot harder to, to get rid. But it would be hilarious because at one point when they're confronting me about it, I said, when he finally pulls out, found the dildo bub, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Stand up there and do this in my own ass and like start?
You said that?
That's literally what I was doing. I mean, not standing, of course, but I was pretending like I was so dumb, like I couldn't even begin to understand how a boy would use a dildo.
They knew better.
Of course they did. Because he told me, we know it's been used.
Ew, no poop on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't put it above my dad not to have sniffed it.
Ew.
I watched him do it with my mom's dildo when I showed him my mom's dildo treasure drawer.
Wait,
Should I not be talking about this?
How old were you?
I don't know. Young. But my mom, it was when she was still married to Greg, and she had I'm sure she still does, in her closet, a whole drawer of like dildos. Sex
You showed me,
tapes.
you showed me.
And then like the butt plug with the horse dildo, or the horse hair, the horse's mane, the horse tail.
I remember there'd be something with a horse.
Yeah. And one, after I had found this, the next time my dad was over, I don't know why, but I was like, look what I found. And I showed him, and of course he's a pervert, so of course he picks one up and smells it. He's like, it's used.
That's gross. Your ex-wife sniffing your ex-wife's dildo in front of your young child.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
It is. Yeah, it certainly is. I
love the Clark State College mom. I just saw the shirt.
Thank you. But yeah, it's like I certainly don't want Dan Hunt to listen to that story.
No.
See, but he's got to be. I'd be happy to show him Bonaduce when it's done.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It should probably be its own thing.
Well, folks, hopefully we end up recording not a gravy, but an improv for you. I'm still devastated that didn't turn out, but at least we got a nice gravy for you. So maybe it's a gravy-only episode. Who knows?
Could be.
Who knows? We'll see how the next couple days and weeks go. If it takes if it's like, oh well, there's not enough time to hang out again, I'll probably just end up making it a gravy-only episode. At that point, because Anyway, folks, that's enough about us. You tune into the podcast, you expect us to talk about something besides us. I don't know why you'd expect that. But until next time, folks, hopefully we'll have some content to share with you someday that is filmed instead of just audio. But until then, stay moat.
Stay moat.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. I bet you thought because we just said stay moat that was the end of the episode, but nope. when you don't get to record an improv and there's still an improv that needs recorded, and then you get together to record said improv, you might as well just record more gravy.
It follows a formula. There's an improv and then a gravy. That's how we record this. And if there's a gravy, but there, if there's an odd number, we can't leave on an odd number.
Right.
So I just farted, and
here we are.
Here we are.
I hope you enjoyed the improv. I know we talked about how disappointed we were in the improv that didn't exist, but I think it came together pretty well.
I think the improv turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it would make no sense if they were listening to the first one.
Right.
Well, they had to have listened to that to get to this point.
You would yeah. We did. It's kind of interesting that we just started in like the middle of an episode. It just didn't explain anything.
Yep.
But, with the sitcom filter has just kind of lended itself to that. So it like didn't even seem weird. I mean, maybe it did. I mean,
I don't think so. Sometimes, it's like sometimes things start in the middle of the action.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what they say you should do, when you're writing a story, like should start with, at least when you're writing like a short story, you should start with some, like an action or like some dialogue, so that way it's, enticing to read instead of just like,
I just don't
standing in a meadow.
I just don't think Harry Potter started like that.
No, it didn't.
How did Harry Potter
It was more
start?
for a short story, I think, or like a poem, kind of grab them right away.
Yeah, we've been listening to the audiobooks of the Harry Potter series, and it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Because you get the guy who does the audiobook does a fantastic job voicing all these people.
Is it Jim Dale?
I have no clue.
I feel like
he's
it is.
amazing.
Yeah, is it a British man?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's so
I'm pretty sure it's Jim Dale because I think he won like a Grammy for
he deserved
his for doing
He
that.
deserves a Grammy for every one of these books.
Yeah.
We've been listening to The Goblet of Fire, dude. I want to say we're 4 or 5 hours in. Something like that. They just got to Hogwarts. Yeah. I remember getting to the point where you remember The Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, yeah.
You know how I remember them being at the Wizarding Quidditch World Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And we were already as long as the movie was in.
Right.
They're like, all this shit's happening at the Quidditch tournament. These Death Eaters came and shit things up a little bit. They just now got to Hogwarts.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane. It's really cool. I don't know what made me think about that.
I can't imagine how long it would take to read. Like, I can't imagine why it would take that long to get to that point in the book.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
I mean, because at that point, it was literally like 20 minutes in the movie. I mean...
Yeah, dude, less than that.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Right.
Something like that. Because we watched the movie recently, too.
I do remember when I saw people, I started reading Harry Potter, and when I finally saw, like, Nate Greist finally got to, like, Goblet of Fire, and I saw how big it was, I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, Goblet of Fire was a big one, but it was also my favorite.
It was good, but I couldn't, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, because I thought, like, 1 and 2 were really long. I couldn't imagine, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were, like, 1 and 2 probably didn't even add up to Goblet of Fire.
Right.
I remember that being a thick one.
Was
I
huge.
Think it's still maybe the thickest in the series besides the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think those two are
Order of the Phoenix might be the longest and the worst. I'm gonna say it.
It is definitely one of the worst. Yeah, it's definitely one of the worst.
But I'll tell you, I've been gaining a big appreciation for Harry Potter listening to these books.
Yeah.
Because before I was just like, I've seen the movies, I read the books, but like whatever. But now I'm so deep in this wizarding world.
Yeah.
I'm like on wizarding websites.
Yeah.
Just
They're
reading
good.
about the lore.
They're good.
Because I was really curious about how many people were in each class. Or like in each
house.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like the Sorting Hat, wouldn't it be disproportionate? Like, what if more Gryffindors came that day?
You would think.
But an explanation I got online, which I seem to be satisfied with, is that some people display characteristics of a Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw, for instance. And, if there's already this many people in the Ravenclaws, then they're like, all right, well, we'll just put them with Hufflepuffs. They could go either way.
Sure.
So the Sorting Hat.
I guess that makes sense.
But, pretty
tries
dumb
to be fair.
Because somebody, like, had this huge, did this huge markup of counting all of the people at one point in the books who were in each thing. And the Gryffindors were, had so much more people than anybody. At one point, Hufflepuff only had 8 people in the house that we knew of in the entire school.
Right.
So it's
I guess, but you could argue from a writer's perspective, some of the characters just aren't going to be as important. Some of the houses aren't as important. Hufflepuff is certainly, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. Hufflepuff certainly, I feel like, is the least important of the 4.
Have you done
in terms of the school? I got Slytherin. You've
done it?
Yeah, I got Slytherin.
I could see you being a Slytherin.
Yeah. At first I was kind of offended, but I'm like, Slytherin doesn't necessarily mean you're evil. Because I feel like that's what everybody kind of takes it that way, like, because all
No,
of
it's
the villains in the
it's
movie
only-
are Slytherin, but you don't have to be evil just because you're Slytherin,
And well, Slytherin, it's the only that Slytherin has produced more dark
Right.
wizards than any other house.
It's
ever.
true. It's true.
But that doesn't mean that you're a
Yeah.
dark wizard.
Right. But, I feel like, of course, they can't, as a writer, you can't introduce every single, I'm sure, you can't introduce every single person that's in the house because they're not important to the story. I mean, there might be 250 people in Hufflepuff,
But there's
but
things
they just
that
don't interact
there's things
with
that
Harry's
J.K.
story.
had said
Yeah,
that it was pretty educated guess that there was only this many people.
gotcha. Well, J.K. Rowling also just changes shit years later and just says like, "Oh yeah, Albus Dumbledore was gay,"
Yeah.
like the whole time.
That's fine.
But I'm just
I
saying,
don't have a problem with her
she
doing that. It's her world.
Of course, but I'm just saying that it's it kind of lends itself to.
What's your feelings on people who take this Pottermore test? Like, what's your thoughts on people being like, I'm a Hufflepuff?
Well, of course it's kind of cringe. But
Like, do you judge someone if they say they're a Hufflepuff? Because for me, specifically, if I meet somebody and they're like, I'm Hufflepuff, to me, I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you.
right,
I don't know.
it's
That's
more so-
probably
yeah,
like wrong.
It's just cringe because it's like really like you.
No,
care
it's
that
not
much about it.
Let's take away the fact that it's cringe, because it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you and I have taken the test.
Right.
I got Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wasn't going to get Gryffindor
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not courageous enough.
Sure.
But specifically Hufflepuffs, I have a bias towards.
Because they are. It seems like any Harry
Quirky.
Potter fan you meet, they're a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, like
And
I'm
it's,
quirky.
and they're just it's like they just kind of take the brunt for the whole fandom because they seem to be the most cringe ones.
Yeah. Have you played the game?
I haven't. Taylor wants to, and Royal has like shown me it,
I'll
but
tell you what, don't get it for the PS4.
yeah,
Don't.
not good.
Dude, it's horrible. Because we got it for the... Maybe we're a little spoiled. I got it for Abigail for the computer, and like she's played it like fucking like 4K on the TV.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
higher resolution than any of my monitor. I never would have plugged it into the TV, but she did.
Yeah.
And so I've just seen it like that, and it's beautiful.
Mm.
But it's called Hogwarts Legacy PS4 Edition.
Oh.
And I've seen, like, Lindsay I bought it for Lindsay for her birthday, and she came over here and brought her PS4 one day and played it. It doesn't even look like the same game. It looks worse than a PS3 game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's good to know. She
Yeah.
wants it on the Switch. I'm like, that sounds terrible.
That's going to be worse.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds terrible.
That's going to be worse,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to make her happy, but I'm like, that sounds like it would be a terrible experience.
No,
but,
that you
whatever
should
wanna
probably only
say.
play it on, like, the PS5 or a computer.
Yeah. And I'm holding out until I hear that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out on a specific platform. I'm not updating my console because, I mean, to be honest, I don't even like the PS4. If I
don't either.
If I could still be using my PS3, I would.
Absolutely. I gave my PS3 to Hunter. I forgot about that.
Ah,
I didn't
may
give
it
it
rest.
to him. I sold it to him, but he never
Oh,
sent
well,
me
at
the
least
money
you-
for it. So in my mind, to not be upset about it, I'm like, I
Right.
gave it to him.
Right.
He's
That's funny.
he's a young father.
I really want. I've come to the realization, and I think we've talked about it before, but I've come to the realization that I absolutely need a PS2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are many games that I really want to play Mr. Mosquito badly. I keep thinking about it all the time. I really want to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories badly.
I'll tell you, brother, that's going to be very expensive.
Oh, I know.
But PS2, because like PS2 shit has gone up in price so much. So if
Because
PS3's
everybody wants it.
PS3's
I'm
up
nostalgic
too.
for it. Please give me backwards compatibility. That would solve
never
all
gonna
my
do it.
problems.
But I'll tell you, PS2 emulation on even your Mac has come such a long way.
Yeah.
You could download any PS2 game you wanted, and you could just get like a controller on Amazon and play it on your computer easily.
If you say so. I mean, I do.
I'm telling you,
I'm
easy.
interested. I'm definitely interested, but there's something to be said. Like
I emulate the PS3 on my computer.
it just absolutely guts me that I've got these games sitting on my shelf.
Oh, you have them?
Oh yeah, not Mr. Mosquito, but like I have Grand Theft Auto Vice City Story. Like I have Simpsons Hit and Run. I would love to fucking play that.
Well, if you have the games already, then fuck yeah, go buy PS2.
I mean, where do you find one?
Facebook Marketplace. What's wrong with that?
That part, I'm like, I just, maybe Game Cycle, do you think they'd have one?
Absolutely.
How much are they there, though?
I'll call them right now. I'll call them on the podcast.
Let's do it. We're not above calling them someplace. Now, the PS2 is absolutely still RCA, right?
Yeah.
They never got upgraded to HDMI?
No, maybe the most that they ever came out with was like component cables. Do you remember those? It's like RCA, but there's 5 of them.
No, I don't remember that.
They might have that. But yeah, it's RCA still.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my TV has RCA.
Game Cycle.
Hi, do you guys have any PS2s?
I sure do.
How much do they cost? How much do they range in?
They're 100.
100?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye. Not bad.
Well, I think we're going to Game Cycle.
Oh, really? Really? This is exciting.
Yeah, I think we have to go to Game Cycle because I want one desperately.
Let's go get one.
I want one desperately. Okay, well, anyway, back to the gravy. Back to the gravy. We somehow Harry Potter led us down a rabbit hole to deciding to go to Game Cycle to buy a PS2.
This is exciting.
I'm excited.
And you know what's cool about the PS2? Well, I guess the PS3 backwards compatibility with the PS1 games.
Yeah. I do, and that's the thing that sucks
NASCAR
so much.
fucking Rumble.
Why do I have a PS3 that can? And I know you've told me, you've explained it to me, but
no,
why the
I have
fuck
explained
do
this,
I have
but this
a
is
PS3
unacceptable.
that can play PS1 games, but it can't fucking play PS2 games? It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's acceptable.
And why? And the PS4 can't I play my? I play PS1 games on my PS4, right? No, I don't.
That
okay,
is
so it
what's
was on my
unacceptable.
PS3.
The PS3 is the only thing, but the PS3 is emulating the PS1.
Ah.
The PS3 isn't doing. The PS3 can't play PS2 games. The PS2 was able to play PS1 games because it essentially had a PS1 on the motherboard as well.
Gotcha.
There's a PS1 and a PS2.
I'm sorry,
the PS3 couldn't play PS2 games because it didn't have a PS2 on it.
I think,
but it had the ability to emulate it. So
yeah,
why can't the
that makes sense,
PS4?
right? It should. It's like a more advanced computer.
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they're reselling the games to you. Because now you have to buy them
yeah,
online.
You're right. That makes sense.
It has the ability to. They just resell them.
Here's the
Fucking
thing that
bastards.
pisses me off is I'm very seriously honest when I say this. I would pay hundreds of extra dollars for a console if it had backwards capability.
Completely agree. Well, Xbox is going that route.
Well, good. I mean, but I don't fucking like Xbox.
Xbox Series S can play Xbox One, Xbox 360.
That's
Xbox
how.
games.
I mean, this is the modern day of gaming, and I feel like yes, there's online, purchasing from their stores or whatever, but you at this point have sort of cultivated a lifelong following of consumers, right, to your product. Why are you sort of torturing them for having games from 20 years ago that they still want to play it? Are they do they have to keep each console?
Play CDs.
That's
why I can't play PS1 games. It doesn't have a CD.
It's
reader.
ridiculous. And I know that technology moves on, and I understand that some people have thrown out their physical copies of things because they're like, it's all in the cloud now. That's not me. Personally, I still have...
I did, but I regret it.
I did some, for sure, but I still have a lot of PS2 games, and it bugs me that I can't play them, so I'm excited that potentially today, that will be a situation rectified. But you did have... The whole reason we decided to record a gravy in this first... After the improv was because you had a video that you wanted to show me.
Yes.
So I would love to see what this could possibly be. Is it gore?
Not gore.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with gore. I was just wondering to know what
disgusting.
Now it's not animals. I can't see a dog getting died.
I'm not gonna. I would never show
Okay.
you a dog. Getting
Okay,
murdered,
thank
brother,
you.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
I can't watch those videos either.
I recently on Reddit, or Insane Reality is one of them, and there's a body cam footage from a police officer that was released where he gets out of his car and starts walking up to this group of people that's outside their home. It looks like it could be downtown Springfield, like Stanton Avenue,
Yeah.
And there's these people standing in their front yard, and their golden retriever nicely it runs over to the police officer and he shoots it dead. And
oh my god,
didn't jump on him, didn't seem aggressive in any way, just ran up like, it was shaking its tail. He backs away, shoots it. It runs in the street, starts riding. I don't even want to describe
Don't
it.
even.
But that's what and so I'm like, I can't see that. But like, I don't even know why I clicked on it and then saw what it was and kept watching. I don't know why I did it. So then I went out in the living room and cuddled Fran.
Oh.
It's sad. Who is this?
It's a man named Don Somerton.
Okay.
He used to be a mortgage broker.
Okay, and he's gone off the deep end. He's tattooed. I'm assuming this is going to be NSFW, so I probably won't be able to include it in,
No, you can include it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
will I have to censor
there's censored
it, maybe?
versions of it you could probably find.
Oh, okay. I can see this man has tattooed a bikini on himself.
Yes.
And he
has more modern tattoos. There are people who follow this man.
He has newer tattoos than this.
He now has a tattoo on the top of his head. It's huge. It has a pig, and it says pig across it.
That makes sense.
And he has his mistress tattooed owned by...
Maybe I have seen something like this, because I noticed the pig mask over here, too.
He's a little Mr. Pig.
Yeah, with him being... Okay, so I'm excited to see this. Okay. But you say it's disgusting, so I don't really know what to expect.
Hello. Today we're going to make French-Canadian poutine fries. What are poutine fries? Well, poutine fries are basically your fries, cheese, and a great appetite. So basically...
Poutine fries are good.
French-Canadian, out of Quebec.
But I know it's going to be like diarrhea and piss.
There's going to be a bit of a change to the recipe. Everybody likes to change the recipe up. These ones are going to have fries, cheese, pig shit, and pig piss. Ooh, it's going
now
to be
hang
a
on.
treat. Well, let's get started, shall we? First the fries.
He's the pig, right? So is it going to be his shit and piss?
Here's the fries and the nice little bit of
is the shit and piss already in there?
Cheese here. Okay, so let's get things happening. Yes,
No, it is his shit and piss.
Yes, because we don't want to have an accident while I'm...
His cock is in a cage.
Pig shit dumped on
Yep.
the fries. Have water squirting out on the floor. No.
It blows my mind how casual he is about this. Describing the whole process to us.
The fries are covered in pig piss. Oh, it's going to be a treat.
This is going to be a treat.
Yes, indeed, eh? Well, now it's time to give the main ingredient, eh?
You can see the bikini is a full bikini.
No, this is what I was afraid of. No! No! Oh, no. How do do these people take something when they're into scat, or is that just like their natural shit?
I think that's his natural. You never had shits like that?
I don't, not often.
Really?
Not often.
That's how most of my shits
That's like
are.
the same kind of consistency in Two Girls, One Cup, and I mean that made my dad think they had put ice cream up her butt. Cause like
no, that's how my shits are most of the time.
What's this now? Is this the cheese?
Yeah.
I just have to disassociate and tell myself that's not his shit.
That is absolutely.
I can
his shit.
forget.
And those fries are soggy, covered in his piss.
I know, but I can forget about that because I can't see it. I can see the shit, so I have to like tell myself
Kind
it's
of looks
chili.
like chili meat.
Yeah.
Never had poutine.
It's good. I mean,
This
it's
makes
real,
me not
real
want it.
Yeah, real poutine is good. I had it in Georgia.
Kind of mixing it in.
It's kind of like fries and gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
So it's not chili meat.
That's why I immediately was like, "Oh, is it going to be diarrhea?" When he said poutine.
I know you want to join me for some, don't you? Yes, you do. Eh? Yes, hey, take a look at this. Oh, boy, eh?
I could tap out in any minute, so let me know if you're done.
I'm okay. I mean, it's disgusting, but
Just let me know when you're tapping out then.
Now, the important part. Yes, the important part, eh?
The important part would be,
Eat some
yep, you gotta eat it.
So we just dig right in there. Here's a nice little number right here, eh?
His mistress asked him to do this.
Is this like a Chris Chan situation where he's being manipulated? Or
No. He's wanted to
wants
be like
do
this entire life, and then his wife died, and then he's just like, oh, you know what? I'll just do this.
Coated, cheese encrusted shit. I don't know what you're missing.
Coated in cheese, crusted shit.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, we're done. We're done.
I can't think. Okay.
So disgusting. I'm so fucking queasy. I'm so queasy.
That took it too far, Donald. Was his name Donald?
Don Summerton.
I feel like I've seen a much tamer video of that man years before this. Maybe, I mean, I feel like I saw it relatively recently, but where he was just saying, like, Donald Sutherland is a piggy, oink, oink, oink.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I've
you
seen
probably
something
have.
like that, but ew. Yeah. I don't understand, like, you know, I've talked on the show before about having a piss fetish. None of it has anything to do with consuming the piss.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with consuming the piss. And, you know, and Taylor has joked around, yep, that's what I've seen before. Yep. It's time for me to get my cups off. Yep, this is the one I've seen.
Miss Talon's cuckold property. It's honestly impressive how much it makes him have boobs.
He had really big tits, yeah. Now, see, this one, I've seen this, and it made me laugh. You know, it's uncomfortable, whatever. Cause
yeah,
it's
this
like,
one's fine.
But, like...
That man just ate shit.
Yeah, but that's what Yeah, the feces... I do not understand scat culture.
No,
I don't understand the feces. I don't mean to, like, not slut shame, but fetish, kink shame. That's the word. I don't mean to kink shame. If somebody was into scat, you know, ultimately, what two consenting adults do together is fine.
Agreed.
You know? But personally, I just do not understand the scat. And you know, Taylor obviously knows that I like a little bit of a piss, you know, a little bit of a squirt. No. I mean, she's obviously she poops in front of me, you know, that's not a part of it.
She hasn't been like, do you want to?
She jokes.
Poop on you?
She jokes about it. You know, she'd be like, "Oh, you want my scat?" Like, cause she knows it disgusts me. But I'm just like, no. Like, there's no part of me that understands that.
Oh,
I don't.
I'm having poop pains.
He got like I could watch him eat the fries themselves. I know they were soaked in piss, and like he said, crusty cheese and or you know, crunchy cheese and crusty shit. That's disgusting, of course, but I could watch him eat the fries. As soon as he dipped his finger into his feces, a pile of it, and put it in his mouth, you heard it here, folks. I mean, it got me gagging.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Donald Summerton?
Don Summerton, yeah.
Well, that says Norm Summerton.
Oh, my bad, then it's Norm. I don't know why. Well, maybe that's why it was such a hard time finding it.
That could be. Norm Summerton. That man, you know, more power to him because, hey, he's not hurting anybody, but that is disgusting, and I'm sorry to say
he's a fucking freak. This is him as a mortgage broker.
Oh, my God.
He got fired from one job for his BDSM shit, but for the most part, he was a normal man. And then when his wife died, he just went, you know, he's just like, this is just what I've wanted to do my whole life. I want to be a cuckold pig.
As long as he's happy, I mean, like I said, he is not hurting anybody. But
I think he is happy. He's in his 70s.
I just hope nobody's taking advantage of him like I'm seeing on the extensive Chris Chan documentary I've been watching. Because the manipulation on the levels of that, we won't get into it now, but that would hurt me. That's, you know, to see somebody being like, yeah, eat your shit. But if you like it, hey.
He likes it. I really think he likes it.
Well, more power to you, Norm. More power to you.
Yeah, I hope he's alive.
We'll have to find out. You know who's not alive? Norm Macdonald.
No, he's not. That's sad.
MOATAIF honors Norm Macdonald.
Have we ever before?
I don't know. I don't think
we
so.
have.
Maybe we have. We are now because, you know, at least there was a Norm who actually put some respect on the name Norm. And,
yeah.
And that was Norm Macdonald, not Norm Summerton. That's for goddamn sure.
Yep. May he burn. Not Norm Macdonald.
Well, folks, we're headed to game cycle. We got to get this PS2. Maybe they'll even have a copy of Mr. Mosquito, and I won't have to order it on eBay. Until next time, folks, stay out.